David wants to have a few minutes for a couple of comments.
Very good. Thank you, Bob. It's our tradition here to have short addresses from the mayor and the vice mayor, and I intend to sort of uphold that as I come into the office of mayor. First, I'd like to thank everybody who came here tonight for this event. It's wonderful to see so many friendly faces, old friends, some new friends. In particular, I'd like to thank my wife, Maggie, for swearing me in, for I don't know, maybe the fourth or fifth time in various capacities. And my son Charles for doing a good job of holding the family Bible. Thank you, Charles. My mother-in-law Donna is also seated there in the front row, and I know my parents are watching via the internet or Skype, as the case may be, from out of state. And of course, I'd like to thank everybody else for coming. It is a real honor to serve as the mayor of this city. It's an auspicious time to do that. I think I'm the 10th mayor by counting, myself having, all of us having served previously. But for nearly a decade, we've built this city. We've, first of all, did what we must do when you create a new city. We followed the mandates of state law. We did everything LAFCO required. We hired staff. We created this building, this city hall. We adopted a general plan. We created a new city code. We did everything we had to do, but we did much more. That's just a summary, right, colleagues? There were a lot of late night meetings. We also, second to that, we tackled what should be done, all the things that we thought incorporation ought to accomplish. Things like more and better public safety. And since incorporation, our crime rate, by one measure or another, has dropped every single year. We have put a lot more officers on the street. They are doing a lot more creative things compared to the region and particularly our neighbors. We have more and better transportation as a result of incorporation. Literally tens of millions of dollars of grants have been won by this city since our incorporation. We've added miles of roads. We've improved Coloma, for example. We're putting a lot of money into the improvement of Folsom Boulevard. We've done a lot of neighborhood overlays and street fixes there. And we have more and better community development, redevelopment. For example, the demolishing of the Stagger Inn was a big landmark for our community. And third, we tackled some long-term issues. And by these, I'm talking about, in particular, our efforts begun 5 years ago to create the Strong Neighborhoods Initiative. It was originally proposed by me. It was adopted by the entire council. We've moved forward on that front ever since. It's an effort to improve the quality of life for everybody in Rancho Cordova. It's through raising the standards of residential property, rental property, commercial property. It's through enhanced code enforcement with very focused policing and a lot of other details. We created a program called Blight Busters 5 years ago that created a citywide and actual regional task force to deal with problem neighborhoods and problems in neighborhoods. And for that and those other efforts, we won national and state awards, and we're very proud of those. And we improved the community. We've achieved All-America City status just last year, and we've been acting as a broker, a facilitator, and a catalyst in almost innumerable ways. Many, I think, our residents may not see. We created unique partnerships with our chamber and a very innovative partnership with the Cordova Community Council, and much, much more. We've worked with our Parks District. We've done work in a local cemetery. Our police headquarters has been mentioned. I could go on about these levels of accomplishments. And as Bob mentioned just a few minutes ago, we've had budget surpluses, balanced budgets for every single year. The record one of which, I might add, was when I last served as mayor. Not that I'm suggesting we're going to break that record this time, but it's just an interesting data point. So we've had wonderful victories, great successes as a city and as a community, but we are facing extremely challenging times. I doubt anyone in the room would offer a contrarian view to that. We have high unemployment, as does our state. We are in a foreclosure crisis, perhaps less so than our neighbors, but still a significant foreclosure crisis. We have very poor revenue as a city. I think the numbers reflect something like a 20% revenue drop from our peak. We've had state raids on our finances, in particular through their effort to eliminate redevelopment agencies throughout the state. It's our number one source of redevelopment, community development, and economic development in our city. It's a state raid. Of course, these are national issues, but they have very significant local effects. They're inescapable, they're unforeseen, and they're not easily adapted to. But we must remember, opportunity is born of challenge. So of these challenges, I see some opportunities, and these are opportunities I will attempt to pursue as mayor with council support. First, Strong Neighborhoods Initiative. We have grown very good at enforcement, very good at using the city tools available to us to raise the standards in Rancho Cordova. Blightbusters is coming back this next year after an appropriate completion of its first round. We'll be doing at least 4 Blightbusters activities this year. We have been carrying on the Focus on 50 efforts, focusing on some of the most challenging neighborhoods in our community in a systematic way. Those will also continue. This past year, we developed a unique partnership with the probation department in Sacramento County that puts probation officers together with our POP officers, our code enforcement officers, our building inspectors, our animal control officers, various units of our police department to focus on real challenging areas. We've done apartment inspections. I think we've torn down 6 apartment buildings to date of various types, and I think we've had significant remodels in another 10, a massive impact on our rental housing stock. And of course, we offer more support in Rancho Cordova for business along these lines than probably anyone in our region in dealing with graffiti, transients, panhandlers, etc. We have a remarkable record in doing that, and we'll continue to do that. But I think we need to extend this more to citizens than we have in the past. We've made some steps this year. We've won a grant actually to support us in this. We want to engage citizens in their neighborhood on these critical issues of neighborhood health, about cleaning up their neighborhood, about raising standards, about raising the quality of life. Specifically, we want to encourage citizens to act as citizens instead of consumers. Too often, government in the past has looked at a citizen simply as a consumer. It's an outmoded, unmanageable, unfinanceable way to operate government. We simply must move forward and look at citizens as partners the way we used to. Frankly, a long time ago, this is the way our nation grew to the greatness we currently enjoy, was through looking at citizens not as customers, but as partners in improving their community. And that's something we'll work on this year. And we'll use a variety of tools, everything from a smartphone app to more neighborhood meetings. And that's something I commit to as mayor. You know, the second priority we discovered when looking at strong neighborhoods, after sort of cleaning up Dodge, the second priority after public safety is improving schools. Well, we're a city. We're not in the school business. But there are things we can do to encourage higher educational standards in our community. Last time I was mayor, I vowed to serve as principal for a day at each and every Rancho Cordova elementary school. And I completed that. And I think it created a nice bond between city activities and school activities in some regard. This year, I don't know what we want to do. I want to do the exact same thing, but I do want to build engagement with the school district. And so what I'd like to do is continue the neighborhood walks that were started by then Mayor Cooley, continued by Mayor McGarvey, and I would like to merge those with an increased focus on the schools. So perhaps I will serve as principal today of the day at certain schools and do a neighborhood walk that same week, trying to build that relationship. Perhaps also combining it with a neighborhood meeting that's happening in the area. We'll look for combinations of things we can do to do great outreach to our citizens. I also want to start a long-term dialogue, a strategic dialogue about options and needs for schools. As we know, state budgets are being cut. School test scores everywhere can improve, but we're certainly interested in seeing ours improve as well. And I think someone needs to facilitate that dialogue, and that probably falls well within our role of the city as a facilitator. Third focus. This is a hard focus on economic and community development. We're a major job center. Most people realize that in the region. We're also a key transportation corridor. Folsom Boulevard and other corridors, though, are very outdated and non-functional in some cases. They need reinvention. Given the slowdown and stoppage of new development and greenfield development and the threat to redevelopment, we need new strategies, fundamental new strategies. And we're not alone in this, by the way. The entire state of California, and in some senses the entire nation, is looking for these new strategies. We have to find new ways to finance community development, to retain and grow businesses we have, and to do some recruitment. We need to find a way to bring a healthy mix of commerce to our community, a healthy mix of commerce that voters over 9 years ago were seeking, and we're still seeking. With council support, I think we'll develop these and work towards them. And as mayor, I personally commit to do whatever is necessary to move us forward. Finally, there are some smaller but important initiatives I want to pursue as mayor. One is the creation or support of a Rancho Cordova Athletic Association. It's similar to an organization they have in Folsom, which brings all the sports organizations in town together to work together towards common goals, be that fundraising, physicals for kids, or fundraising to improve facilities. There's a number of things they can do if working together, and we need such an organization. Similarly, there is a need in this community, I believe, for coordination of after-school programs, an effort I'm willing to coordinate, and an arts association of some kind, also something I'm willing to commit my time to. These are gaps in our community fabric that I think need to be filled and can be filled through city facilitation and citizen activity. So I've given you some history. I've given you an assessment of where we are and an outlook for where we're going. I've named my commitments and priorities for our fine city in this coming year. And with your help and with the help of my colleagues, I think we will fail a little, but we will succeed at much. I'd like to end with a quote, appropriate not only for today or for me in this office, but for all of us. It's the quote I often end these talks with. It's from Abraham Lincoln, and he said, "I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him." Thank you very much.